Okay, so excuse the interruptions because I'm sure there's going to be many from my children. I already have 2 of them in the room right now. So tonight I just want to, we're going to review over what we went through last week. And hold on 1 second. I want to make sure you're all muted. It's just easier. Okay, I think we've got you. I think we're good. Okay, go over what we went over last week and what's to come next week, or this week. Obviously, Christy did a video today on responding to invitations. Tomorrow, we're going to be addressing Success Club, which is really important. We're also going to be talking about your contact list. We're going to be talking about the different ranks and then finish up with Shakeology. So this week's going to be a very content-rich week. Last week was sort of like the basics,
Mom,
but honey,
can you give me milk?
you're going to have to ask Daddy, okay? Or Ava.
Just give me milk.
Sorry, guys. Go ask Daddy. Jason, can you help him, please? Anyway, so, but last week, even though it was simple, I'm sorry, you guys. Hold on one minute. Please go help your brother because I'm on a call right now. Right now, leave the room and go help your brother. I'm really sorry, you guys. Okay, so last week had basic. It was more basic, but it's super important things that you need to be doing every day. And I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with that tonight. I was just mentioning to Christy that I'm in the middle of a training. It's a recruiting training, and it's been so good. I've been a coach for 2.5 years, but the information, I feel like it's really like tuned me up as far as coaching goes and building quicker. So, and more efficiently. That's the big thing because we are all super busy. We all have other lives. We don't want to be doing Beachbody all day long. We want to be efficient, but good with our time because I think that that's a big struggle for a lot of people. It's like, I don't have time. I've got a million things going on. We are in the same boat. So I'm with you. So we want to make this efficient. So last week, the biggest thing that we addressed was the vital behaviors, and there's 4 of them, and they are so crucial because they are things that you should be doing every day. And no, it should not have to take up all of your time. It should be something that, especially once you get in the routine of things, it should be something that should be within an hour. You know, sometimes we don't always have an hour, so you just do the best you can. I mean, it's just is what it is, and sometimes we have to make up on the weekends. It's just the way it is because Beachbody should not take up your whole life. But it is important, and it's kind of the crux of things. And those 4 vital behaviors, like I said in the video, is the invitation process, our personal development, being a product of the product, and the recognition. That's big. And that helps with that team atmosphere. So with all of that said, as we're doing all of this, I know we're talking a lot about invitation, and we're talking about, you know, the things we're supposed to be doing every day. And this week we're going to be talking about rank advancing. With all of that said, the underlying theme should always, and we need to keep this at the heart of everything we do, is that we are truly trying to help other people. It has to be that, because if it's not, if our heart is not in that place, we are not going to come off as genuine. We are not going to be creating relationships, because this business is about creating relationships. It is not about making a sale. We're giving you tips about how to bring more people in to help more people, but we really want this to be about helping other people, reaching their fitness goals, and maybe inspiring them to want to help other people reach their fitness goals. So we have to keep our heart genuine. And, you know, and if you ever feel like you're getting too focused on hitting Success Club, which again, you'll learn more about tomorrow, or things like that, you have to refocus yourself. Like, that's not what it's all about. It's about running these challenge groups, helping people reach their fitness goals. So I just need to put that in there because I am going to get a little bit more in detail about that invitation process, because that can be the toughest part for everyone. Okay. So one thing I want you to start thinking about this week is your posts. Now, I don't know where you all are at, and there's going to be people listening to the recording back, where you're at, how often you post. I have a coach who is, you know, I don't post a lot, so I don't want to like go all in and just start posting all the time. Totally get that. So you want this to be very genuine and natural and authentic and organic and all of that. We totally want that. But the ultimate goal, I'm going to tell you what the ultimate goal is for you to be at. We want you to be posting 3 to 4 times a day. which I know might feel a little, maybe you want to start out at 1 to 2. I'm not sure how much you post currently. But the ultimate goal is to get it to that point potentially. And it's not all going to be about fitness. Okay. It's, Christy talked about, what you're going to be posting about, those 5 things about you that makes you, you. If it's wine, like that's one of my things. If it's being a parent, being a parent is a big one. If that's part of your market, because you want to market to people that are like you, that you have a lot of things in common with, because you want to think about who are the people you want to work with. You want to work with people that have things in common with you. But with that being said, those 3 things, 3 to 4 times per day. So one of the posts should be something fitness or nutrition related. Whether it's something with after you worked out. What we'd like you to avoid is using those photos you find like on Google, the inspirational sayings. Create your own if you can. Not your own saying, but like use a picture of you working out and put a saying in there, something like that. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to do that every day because we don't have time for that all the time. But even on the weekends, you might want to stockpile a few pictures so that you can spread it out through the week. I've done that before. And then you're going to want to do just like a couple lifestyle pictures, just things that you're doing through the day, or target those topics, or I should say it should be targeting those, one of those 5 topics that you've identified earlier this week. And then another one should just be something positive, uplifting, something along those lines. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, in this training that I'm doing, one of the things that they've challenged us to do is on Tuesdays, do a Transformation Tuesday. Now, I'm not saying, like right now I don't have a big transformation because I just had a baby, but want you to start thinking about like having a pattern of like Tuesdays and Thursdays, for example. You're going to do, like Thursday would be a throwback Thursday. You're going to do some sort of transformative piece of your story, which we talked about before. So if you have, let's say you have done a program and you had great success, you're going to post about that. You're going to do before and after. If you're in the middle of the process of doing it, that's okay too. You could say, you could talk about where your life was 6 months ago to where it is now. It doesn't have to be a physical transformation. It can be an emotional transformation. It can be whatever you want it to be. It could be something about you starting this new journey, like this is a change in your mindset or where your goals are going, things like that. So I challenge you to start thinking about like 2 days a week doing some piece of your story. Sorry, my kids are really loud. Some piece of your story where you're talking about a change, a positive change, because we want to talk about our lives. I know you've probably heard this before, turn your mess into a message. So, because my life's a mess half the time, but you have to turn it into something positive. We want to be authentic, but we also want to turn it into something positive. So a couple times a week, you want to do something, and it doesn't have to be a call to action like contact me if you want to be a part of my journey. It's just putting out there so people see what you're doing. And then Sunday nights, we'd love for you to do, and Christy talked about that challenge group post, is some sort of call to action post. Can you guys call me over, please? Some sort of call to action post where you're inviting people to a challenge group. If you're feeling brave, you could start inviting to the coaching opportunity, which we will talk a little bit more about. But you want Sunday nights to be the big night, because people typically Sunday nights are like sitting on their phones or watching TV, kind of dreading the work week. Can you please leave the room and shut the door? Sorry, it's like mayhem in our house right now. So Sunday nights, you want to be kind of that call to action night, because people are on social media at that point, and you want to, that's a good connection point. So with that being said, so kind of think about that, like make us like look at your calendar and kind of like, okay, this day I'm going to post about this, and organize yourself on the weekend. So like Tuesday doesn't roll around and you're like, I have a crazy day, I don't have time for this. Get yourself prepared on the weekends so that when the time comes, boom, you got it all set. I'm not going to say it's perfect or foolproof, but these are just ideas for you to try. Okay, so next, what happens when someone likes a post? Because a lot of times you're going to either have people like your post and you don't get very many comments, or the comments will be like, awesome job. They're not going to be people saying like, I want to sign up. They're not going to necessarily do that. Some might. It happens occasionally. But many times you're just going to get those kind of, and it's like, well, what do I do with that? What do I say? There are different things and there's different strategies you can use in what to say to them. So I'm going to give you kind of like I don't want to say a script, but I'm going to kind of give you an idea what to say. And I wrote it down for myself. So, so if someone likes one of those fitness posts, let's say you do a post about something transformative, like Michelle, I know you have a great transformation. If you want, you've done a few posts on it and some really good, and she's gotten really good feedback from people. And, this is something you might say to all the people that liked. So you're going to go back and you're going to message all the people that liked a post that you put about yourself, like, oh, I've been on this fitness journey and this is what's happened. Thank you so much for liking my post. I appreciate it so much when people support my journey and send like good vibes my way. Are you on a health journey too? So you keep it simple like that. Or, you know, use it in your own words, because it might be someone that you're really good friends with. You're going to keep it super authentic. Like, hey, thanks so much for supporting me. I've been working really hard. You know, what do you been, you know, use your own words with it. But that's basically what you're going to do when someone likes your page. If they are like, no, but you're super inspirational, or thank you so much for the kind words, whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah. They might say something like that. If they say no, they might say, I'm not working out right now, but I appreciate your posts. What you would say is, hey, I know that you said you're not working out or anything like that, but I'd love to share with you what I've been doing. I don't know if you know this, but I've actually started becoming you don't want to say become a coach, that I run these accountability groups, and I'd love to have you in my next group. Do you want to learn more? And that's truly all you got to do. And that starts the conversation. Not everyone's going to respond back, and you have to expect it, because I would say out of every 10 messages, you're going to get 1 or 2 people that are wanting to join. So if you're only sending 1 or 2 messages a week, I guarantee you're not going to hit your goals. You have to be messaging more people. The other hand, on the other side of the coin, you send that message and they say, yes, I'm on a health, and I go to the gym and I work out and I do this and that and the other. This is the time that you are going to bring up the coaching opportunity. I know you guys are all brand new to this, but I'm just kind of putting the plug in for you to kind of start getting your wheels turning about it. And if they say, yes, yeah, I go to the gym, or I'm in CrossFit, or blah, 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 say, that's so awesome. That's awesome for you putting yourself out there, putting yourself first. Have you ever considered paying it forward and helping others do the same? And that is how you put the plug in for coaching. And they'll be like, what are you talking about? Or they might say, yeah, I thought about getting my certification in personal training. And that's when you say, hey, this is what I do. There's no certification required. We provide all the training within. And that just at least starts the conversation going. And then you can, if they show interest, you're going to invite them to either, we sometimes have those what is coaching calls. Sometimes we have sneak peek groups. And if we don't, we have recorded calls that you can send them, like, hey, do you have some time to listen to this recording, and I'll follow up with you tomorrow, that kind of thing. We're going to go more in depth with that. Actually, tomorrow night, I'm going to do a call for Team All-Stars on inviting to the coaching opportunity. But that's what you would do. So people that like those posts, message them and start those conversations. You have to kind of take the bull by the horn, because not everyone is going to go, hey, I'm ready to do what you're doing. You have to expect that people are not going to do it. And one of the other things I'm learning in this group that I'm in is that the difference between me and people that are like in the top 10 of the network is that they simply are just inviting more. That's it. Because statistically speaking, 1 to 2 out of 10 are going to say yes to your fitness journey or coaching opportunity. So if people say no, it's normal and it's totally okay. Put them up on your follow-up list and just keep the relationship, because we want to keep those relationships. So whether or not they become a customer or a coach, you still want to have these relationships with people because, first of all, it's a good thing. Second of all, you never know, people's lives change and their opinions change and their needs change and all of that. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm trying to think of, the other thing I want to bring up is one thing to keep in mind is that when we're putting ourselves out there, the people that are our audience are our Facebook friends or your Instagram followers or whatever social media, which most of it's Facebook, but you want to continue growing that audience because obviously the bigger the audience, the more people are going to be seeing what you're doing and the more relationships you can create. If you don't grow that audience, the same people are going to be seeing it over and over again. I'm not saying that's a bad thing because not everyone is ready at any given moment, but I want you to consider adding more people to your network on a regular basis. Make a goal that fits for your life and how much time you have in your day. You can go to your friends of friends and look and see who has, oh, I know that person, friend them, that kind of thing. And then on Instagram, it's a lot easier. You can pretty much follow anybody, and if you follow them many times, they'll follow you back. So I oftentimes look at hashtags and fitness hashtags, and I'll follow people that I think might be someone I'd want to get to know. And if they follow me back, I'll send them a message. Actually, I send them a message right off the bat when I follow someone. But it's a good way to create relationships. So you want to constantly be thinking about that. So that's it in a nutshell. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I wanted to give you some tools in addition to what Christy posted today, because she also had some good scripts for invitation. And none of it's like foolproof, but there are different ways to talk to people, because I think especially in the beginning, you're kind of like, as I was, I'm not sure what to say to people, and but it needs to come across as authentic. So Christy, do you have anything to add?
Along the lines of the Transformation Tuesday, I mean, even a week into a challenge group, you've seen some changes. Like I, in my last challenge group, posted and just asked them, what have you noticed, and kind of making them aware of that. And, your belt went down a notch. I mean, just little things like that. Even those non-scale victories. Someone noticed that your face looks slimmer. Those are things that you can post about too. It doesn't have to be that you've lost 20 to 30 or 50 pounds or whatever. I mean, those are great. And, I've noticed those are huge. I have a sister that just lost 50 pounds on 21 Day Fix over the last year. And every time she does her big post about it, she gets more people, but I don't have as big of a transformation. So I have to find those little things that I can share about, just feeling more regular, or feeling, and even, people put the little poop emoji, I know it's silly, but just things like that, that your stomach feels better. You just are feeling better, that kind of stuff. And you don't have to say exactly what it is. That's where those little hooks or the little jabs, and then you put the big hook out there. But it doesn't have to be, like Sarah said too, a huge transformation. Maybe you've lost 5 pounds. That's something to, better than putting 5 pounds on. So those are things to think about too.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of think about like putting yourself in their shoes. Like, what would you want to see? What's going to make you excited if you saw it in your newsfeed? Because we're living day-to-day lives just like everyone else. And so people are busy, and a lot of people truly have a hard time with those last 5 pounds, or even just starting. Like they might think, oh my gosh, I have 80 pounds to lose. I can't even, people want to relate to you like, hey, I've started this and I'm on a roll and whatever, so it's just really putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, being okay with it. Most people are going to appreciate that. Most, they enjoy seeing those type of things, that you're doing something positive, because there's just so much negativity. And like my husband complains of it all the time. Like, oh, there's just some negative people on my Facebook page. I'm like, unfriend them. Like, I don't have any time for that, truly. Like I don't, anyone that's negative on my Facebook page, I honestly will block them. It's just not something I want to see. So I think people appreciate positive things that we put out there most of the time. And if they don't, it's either an issue that they're dealing with, or I'm not going to worry about it, quite frankly, because it's not my problem, because it's been something, oh yeah, that's a good one, Stephanie. Yeah, you can talk about like blood work and things like that, like cholesterol levels and blood pressure, because Shakeology, I swear to goodness, my mom, her cholesterol level when she started drinking Shakeology, it went back to normal. Like, it was so crazy. So that was huge for her. So yours was, Stephanie? Oh my gosh, 305 when you started. That's crazy. So yeah, that's something to share, you know. So, but that's it. I mean, I think the one thing is back to what I would like you guys to start focusing on or continue focusing on is kind of make a schedule for your week, like an idea of how you want to post, you know, especially when the work week gets started. You guys are all busy and think ahead. I talked about this last week, but make sure you have set a time aside that you can dedicate some time to listening to this training and then doing those vital behaviors like reaching out to people, following up to the people that liked your posts or commented, and the invitation process. And, you know, we also have that personal development piece. I know we talked about it before. Stephanie posted some information on some books. I also posted, I see a little one behind me. I also posted a list of books as well to kind of start thinking about, because especially, like I said, when life gets crazy and busy, and then we're like, okay, what part of my life can I cut out? You don't want it to be Beachbody, because I promise you it does. It's been a game changer for me. And once you, you know, start getting a roll with things, it's going to be, oh, Courtney, hi. Anyway, it's going to be one of those things that's going to be such a blessing in your life if you stick with it. Don't give up when things get tough. Read your personal development. Reach out to one of your coaches. It's definitely worth it. So, Ava, do you recognize Courtney on there? I coached Courtney many years ago. Anyway, so stick with it. I promise you it'll be worth your time. So, does anyone have any questions or things they want to bring up? How are your weeks been? Anything you want to share or questions? If you have one, you have to unmute yourself, or you can put it in the chat as well. And if you don't, that's okay too. So, all right, cool beans. Well, you know how to reach us if you need anything. We're going to be here the whole way. Just kind of stick with your vital behaviors every single day and do the posts, and you're going to be on the right track. Did I hear someone?
Hey, she's got a question. It says, how does Beachbody know you want to be assigned to people? I know you need to show you are motivated and dedicated. I'm in it to help people. I guess, what do you mean? How do they assign people to you?
I want to be assigned to people. Like, how do people get connected to your account when they purchase a product?
Oh, as a free coach, that's something that Sarah will talk about with Success Club, I think. Is that what you're talking about tomorrow, Sarah?
Tomorrow, Success Club, and then we have Emerald later this week.
Okay. When you hit Success Club 5, you get free customer leads. So if somebody goes out there and just purchases from Beachbody, and not through a coach, then they assign them randomly to coaches. Those are the free leads. And then when you hit Success Club 10, they assign you free Shakeology leads. So those are people that are just purchasing Shakeology and are not purchasing it through a coach. Then you get those assigned to you. So that's how you get those people. And then I do have a script that I send them an email. And like I've been talking to Sarah, I have one that's ordering every single month Shakeology, and she won't respond to my email. So I have to get up the courage and just give her a call. See if she wants to have a discount. So anyway, but that's how that works as far as the free customers. I did have one of my coaches message me tonight and ask, this might be something that you guys run into down the road. She had her aunt that she's been talking to for months about Challenge Pack programs, different things. And she went on an infomercial and bought size. And so she's like, how do I, and I said, I think, maybe I'm totally wrong, Sarah, but I said to have her call customer service and they can have you assigned as her coach. But the thing is, with the infomercials, I think they allow them to do payment plans and not, pay in full. So in order to have that, get the volume and the credit as your coach, or to give the credit to the coach, they need to pay for it in full. So I just But those are just things that little
Mhm.
things here and there that you might run into. But and then Sarah, as far as going over mobile apps in the training, maybe down the road
Yeah.
this week or next week I know I'm talking about Shakeology. I'm going to talk about the podcast.
I mean, we can always address it next week on Zoom too.
We can maybe do that on the call next week or squeeze it into one of the days that we have on the schedule.
And also you have to be Emerald to get leads as well. You have to be Emerald and hit Success Club 5. So, but we'll go over that this week a little bit more. But yeah, so Beachbody randomly assigns it. But when you have someone that is interested in joining a free group, for example, there is a specific link that you send them for them to become your free customer, or you're their free coach. So there is a link. Now, I don't know if, and I can just do a little quick thing on it. I don't know if you guys have all uploaded the Beachbody Links app yet. And if you haven't, do that and talk to your coach about it more in detail if you have questions. It's super awesome. It's a free link or free app. Just look up Beachbody Links, and it's got all the links to all the products.
Oh, it's hard to see.
Yeah. And so when you're selling a product, you just copy and paste the link and you send it to them, and it will attach to your account. But you got to put in your coach ID. So, but we can go more in detail next week, or you can kind of like play around with it, ask your upline coach. You're trying to do a Shakeology group next week. What's a good way to post about it on Facebook? I would just, first of all, you'll probably want to post, in the next couple of days about it, and maybe do a couple posts. Now, is this going to be a free group, or is this a sampler group? Let's see here. Free. Okay. If it's a free group, then you would want to advertise that you have a free group coming up next week, and that, you can talk about what it's done for you and do a really nice, clear picture of you. Now, how is the Shakeology going to be free to them? Is it a Shakeology, or is it a clean eating group? Oh, you're going to send them samples? Oh, you're going to give them the samples? Or they're going to pay you? Or you're doing it as like a pro bono kind of thing? Because those are great ways to get people in. Okay. Well, at any rate, I'm sending them free. Oh, that's awesome of you. I would make a big deal out of that, because that's a really nice thing that you're doing. And I would say, I would kind of post it like, hey, this is a one-time thing. I've never done this before, but I am so in love with Shakeology, or I'm so excited about this that I want to run a free group. If you've been ever curious about this, blah, 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 this is the time, because I'm sent, and advertise it. You might get a lot of people jumping on, so be ready for that. Or maybe make a limit for how many people that can come on.
That's what I was going to say.
You might get 50 people
left kind of thing.
Yeah. And then do a really nice picture of you, make sure your face is in it. I usually do about $5 a sample as well. But do a really nice photo of you, and when you do the group, gear it up towards you want to convert those people to paying customers. So make sure you're having a lot of personal conversations with them throughout the week, not just in your posts. Message them how are you liking it? What do you think about it? This is what it's done for me. And so it's really just speaking from the heart. And but you'll want to draft up something, maybe even show your upline what you've drafted up, a really nice picture of you. It doesn't have to be in a Shakeology cup. Put it in a cool mason jar cup or something, something really cute that's going to be a scroll stopper enough. And then a lot of times the word free, do free F asterisk R asterisk E asterisk E asterisk, because for some reason it flags up something on Facebook. So that's just something to think about when you do that. But that's really cool of you. that's nice. I've done things like that before. I've given out free programs before, and sometimes it kind of gets people excited when they see free things, and then they can kind of get a taste for what it's all about. So, whoops, I just did something. I'm not sure what I did. Anyway, somehow I'm out of this. Hold on a second. Oh, there you are. Okay. Anyone else have any other questions? All right. Well, I hear my baby screaming and crying in the other room right now, so I think he probably needs to be fed. My husband's probably like, "What do I do?" Well, I don't know what to do with this crying child, so I got to go handle that. Anyway, all right. Well, it's nice to see you all, and I will post this in the group for anyone who missed this.
Bye-bye.
And everyone have a good night, and be looking for tomorrow on Success Club because it's a big one. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.